All right. Hey there.
Right,
welcome. It's 3 Minutes with Jay Bala. Jay Bala, our portfolio manager out at AIP Asset Management in Toronto. Jay and I were just talking offline just about the changes going on in the industry. The focus now is high net worth individuals, and nobody wants to look after Canadians. They only want to look after a select group.
It takes the same amount of effort and work to take care of a client with $100,000 as it does to take care of a high net worth individual with $1 million or $5 million. Like the work is about the same. The only thing is, do you want to invest that time to take care of this person? In my mind, this is exactly what the issue with the industry is. We're all pushing for profitability. It's far more profitable to take care of $1 million client than it is to take care of a $50,000 client. But the reality is, who really needs the advice and the services and the team around them? The reality is, if you're a millionaire, you've got millionaire friends, you've got access to legal counsel and accountants and everything else. Whereas, you've got $50,000, $100,000 and you're sort of struggling. Nobody really wants to help you out, right? Like everybody wants to be there when you get to $1 million, but nobody wants to sort of hold your hand and get you down that path, right?
Yeah, and what I find interesting about it is the idea that when I started in the business, if you got a $250,000 client to $500,000, if you focused on that area, that was a good place to focus. And then that kind of went up to over $500K, and now we're at $1 million. And my brain goes to, is money becoming that worthless that with all of the printing? Well, just, think about it though, with all of the printing of money that's gone on by central banks around the world, it has an effect in terms of what the true value of fiat currency is. And so the bar keeps getting raised where, that $1 million client in 10 years could be, well, we only do it for $2.5 million or $5 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a shrinking pool, right? More and more of that pool of money keeps getting concentrated in a smaller number of heads. If you look at sort of average net worth of a Canadian, we all say, well, it's gone up. But the reality is you actually break it out and you figure out, well, that delta between last year and this year, who did it go to? It didn't go to the poor. It didn't go to the middle class. And financial advice and everything else is moving with that in tandem. They're saying, forget the 90. I want to keep focusing on this 10, right? They seem to be getting richer and richer by the year, right? If people like Bloom and AIP aren't working together to provide this kind of advice, they're getting less and less advice. And those that are becoming wealthier are getting more and more advice. Who's going to win that delta or that competition on knowledge on what to do with the information, right? And I say in the modern world, it isn't a lack of information. It's, do you know what to do with all of this information, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got the same data set, right? It's just how many people can actually understand it, break it down and say, okay, this is what we do with the info, right? That's become key now. And if you start saying, well, us, we big firms, we're all moving to service $1 million clientele, you've left sort of the middle class with this abundance of info and nobody knows what to do with it. Like you had mentioned, we're not going to be the guys that are going to leave the middle class behind. We don't want to exclude anyone.
What's going on with you? Where are you putting your money these days?
We're in the same place, but as the summer months come through, there's generally a market sell-off. So we may rethink our position at that time.